So if you're out of ideas of what to get someone for the holidays, but you know that they like audio, then you should probably watch our last video where we picked some of our favorite gifts that we think audio lovers might love. But don't click away from this video just yet, because this is equally important. We're going to be talking about some gifts that you should under no circumstances by any means buy someone who loves audio. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that you should definitely not get someone is for those that have AirPods. And that is an AirPod carrying strap. Because, yeah, these things actually exist and they cost a ridiculous amount of money and they're just ridiculous. What is the point of getting a true wireless pair of earbuds if you're gonna attach them anyway? I thought the whole point was to like leave the 80s in the past. I mean, if you really think they would enjoy a pair of wired earbuds, then by all means get them a pair of wired earbuds. They would sound better, they would fit better, and you won't have to worry about battery life because, you know, they're wired. Just don't do this, it's a bad idea. Especially these, because these are like, I think it was 60 bucks, just ridiculous. While we're on the topic of AirPods, there's another thing that you should never get an audio lover. AirPods. Now I should clarify that I'm talking about the original AirPods here, because there are way better options for less money that you can get someone as a gift. And now that the AirPod Pros are out and they're actually good, if you really want to get someone AirPods, then spend the extra cash and go for those. And the original AirPods are convenient and they're small and portable, but they're more for the casual listener. If someone truly loves audio, just go with the AirPods Pro. They have active noise canceling, they have a better seal, which means better sound quality. Even though the sound is kind of the same, but just the seal makes a huge difference. So the next no-no on our list is for the up-and-coming podcaster in your life. And that's an XLR microphone with no audio interface. Now don't get me wrong, XLR microphones are great. I'm recording on one right now. But you need a little bit more than just a computer to get them to work the right way. Some of them need a cloud lifter, you need an audio interface, they might need phantom power, you need a recording software in your computer, and if none of that meant anything to you, don't worry, we have full explainers and reviews in the description below. But you should probably also not spend a ton of money buying a microphone for someone if you don't know what you're getting into. Now if you're buying a gift for a gamer, there's one particular headset that you should avoid at all costs, and that's the Amazon Basics gaming headset. I know they're cheap and Amazon Basics stuff is usually pretty good, mainly like their underwear and stuff, but these are hot garbage. They got the lowest score on the site by a long shot for any product we've ever reviewed, and Sam Moore, our gaming expert that reviewed them, doesn't regret it at all. Yeah, they're that bad, but he did say that the Amazon Basics Pro gaming headset are actually okay, so if you still want to get them a gaming headset, look at those. So if your audio lover friend also happens to be a gym rat, then headphones seem to be like the perfect combination of their interests. But one thing you should definitely not get them are AirPods. Again, the original AirPods, because they're not sweat resistant and they don't fit well, which are two things that you definitely want if you're going to the gym. There are plenty of other options available, and if you really do feel like spending a lot of money on someone and getting them a really nice pair of true wireless earbuds, look at Apple's other product, the Powerbeats Pro, which are made specifically for the gym and are pretty great. So if you're looking to get someone a pair of headphones for their commutes, I'm gonna do a blanket statement here. Just avoid any headphones that are open back or that have a poor seal. For example, the Sennheiser HD800 headphones, spectacular pair of headphones. They're great. Not so great if you're on the subway. Just by nature of being a pair of open back headphones means that you're gonna be able to hear everything going on around you. And the more you hear from what's going on around you, the less you can listen to your music. Not great if you're commuting. Plus, the person next to you will be able to hear exactly what you're listening to, almost as if you're listening to it on a small Bluetooth speaker. Very annoying, don't be that guy. So the next thing you should definitely not get someone who's really into audio is a pair of expensive cables. Why? Because it's complete and utter bull. So there's this experiment in the audiophile community where people will take really expensive cables and a metal coat hanger. You know, like an actual metal coat hanger. Like our executive editor Chris Thomas did this test and put up a bunch of samples on the site and people voted on it, and it's still up. I'll link it down in the description, but you can hear for yourself that it's really not a big difference between these really expensive cables and, again, a metal coat hanger. Save your money, don't buy them. Along those same lines, another thing that you should probably avoid getting someone is a pair of really expensive in-ears or IEMs. Not because they're not worth it or they're not any good, but mainly because when you get into those higher price points, people tend to get really picky and specific about what gear they use. Some of the really high-end in-ears even need to be like custom molded to the person's ears. So unless you just happen to have a mold of their ear lying around, which you have a whole nother problem. That's gonna be a really hard gift to get someone. So another thing that you should avoid getting anyone this holiday season is just an obscenely overpriced piece of anything. Like, I don't know, this $6,500 Bluetooth turntable, which I'm sure is great, but do you really need to spend $6,500 on this? Now, don't get me wrong, if you're rich and you're rolling in money, by all means, spend it how you please, and while you're at it, send one this way. But for the most part, completely unnecessary. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you can get a perfectly good turntable for significantly less than $6,500. It's been a journey. But here we are, at the end of it. We've all grown as people, and now let's discuss the last thing that you should avoid getting anyone ever. And that's any kind of USB-C headphones. Now, I know that we were promised a great, spectacular USB-C headphone future, and our phones no longer even have headphone jacks, they only got USB-C ports, but that hasn't happened yet. So there's a lot of issues with USB-C headphones, from intercompatibility to cross-device compatibility, and you would think those would be solved since it's supposed to be universal, but it just hasn't been, and the future doesn't look that promising either, so just avoid all USB-C headphones. And that should pretty much do it for this one, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you want to know what gifts you should get people, I'll have that video linked down in the description below. Also, you should check out SoundGuys.com, where we have actual full reviews on products from headphones to speakers to gaming headsets and all that fun stuff. While you're here, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, and also, we have a podcast. I'll link that down in the description. Check that out. It's pretty good. I'm Adam Molina. Happy listening.